So it's Wednesday, June 6th. Puts me at a full week in Hyderabad so far. And it's really been great. I like it here. I've had a couple of interesting instances. I went to a shopping area that was a little further away, and I went on my own for the first time. Not with anybody that speaks Hindi or Telugu. So I just got an Uber and I went. And the Uber was very small and had the windows down, and it was hot. And even though we were only going about 4 kilometers, maybe 5, it took an hour of being stuck in insane traffic, smog. It was, in fact, I felt it the next day, my lungs and throat. So I made it though there, and I did a little shopping and just walked around and looked at all the different things that were there. And then I tried to get an Uber back, and that's where it got really interesting, because where Uber told me to meet the driver and where the driver thought he should meet me were not the same place. And so he called me and didn't speak a single word of English. And where Uber told me to go was down this dirt ramp full of people and stray dogs to the street where there were literally just a flow of hundreds of cars, bumper to bumper, people, Ubers and taxis and craziness. And he hung up, and then he called me again, and I tried to explain where I was, where Uber said to be, but he hung up again. And then he called back again, but this time somebody else was on the phone. And I think he conferenced in somebody, and she spoke a little English. So I told her I was at the exit ramp where Uber told me to be, exit from the mall. And then they hung up again. And I'm trying to look at all the license plates as they go by to see if one of them was my Uber. And as I'm looking for these, I've got my bags, I bought some things. I feel somebody grab my bags and pull. And of course, you know, all kinds of things go through your head, right? I mean, I'm just surrounded by people. Well, it was my Uber driver thinking, I found him, I'll just grab his bags and help him. But he didn't introduce himself first. So, I noticed he had a mobile phone in the other hand, and he had Uber pulled up, so I just said, hey, and I said his name, and he nodded. He had left his Uber and wandered around till he found me. Now I'm 6'2", and I'm pretty easy to spot in a crowd here. So it all turned out okay. But it was interesting for a moment. What else? I am going to, this weekend, going to Charminar, which is 4 pillars. It's an old historical site. And a fort. There's a huge movie studio here, but it takes a full day to go through the whole thing. So I probably won't do that necessarily. We'll see. And then the 16th, I have a plane booked to Delhi at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to fly to Delhi. From Delhi, I'm going to go to Agra, drive. Well, I'm not driving. And then hopefully see the Taj, take some nice photos, and then drive back to Delhi. And then I have a flight at 10 p.m. back to Hyderabad. So that's going to be a long day. But somebody's being very kind to spend the whole day lugging me around, so I didn't want to impose upon them more than I already am. So it's basically a 24-hour day, because I leave, I have to be at the airport at 3 a.m. and I get back to the airport at 1:45 a.m. the next day. That's going to be fun. Anyway, this is number 3 in the series, and I'll blog again when there's something else interesting to say, if ever.